Evening, ladies and gentlemen that are in the crowd and the ones that are home watching this on the internet. I want to call this meeting of October 25th to order. Would you please call a roll, ma'am?
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Haig?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. First item would be the approval of the minutes of the October 11th regular session.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Abstain.
Williams?
Yes.
Haig?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. First item under ordinances, Bill number 2021-68, an ordinance calling for the establishing the filing dates for the municipal general election to be held in 2022 to fill one 3-year term on the Mexico, Missouri City Council. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, this ordinance sets the dates for the 2022 municipal election and establishes the time period for candidate filing. Statements of candidacy will be received by the city clerk from Tuesday, December 7th, 2021 through Tuesday, December 28th, 2021. The municipal general election date will then be held on Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. These dates are in accordance with the Missouri State Statute election calendar. In order to proceed with the mechanics of accepting the statements of candidacy and establishing the election date, we recommend that council proceed with 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance, and this ordinance has been posted its required length of time.
I make a motion for reading of bill number 2021-69. 68, sorry, I'm one ahead of you.
Second.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Haig?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Bill number 2021-68, an ordinance calling for and establishing the filing dates for the municipal general election to be held in 2022 to fill one 3-year term on the Mexico, Missouri City Council. I move for second reading of bill number 2021-68.
Second.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Haig?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Bill number 2021-68, an ordinance calling for and establishing the filing dates for this municipal general election to be held in 2022 to fill one 3-year term on the Mexico, Missouri City Council. I move for passage of bill number 2021-68.
Second.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Haig?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Next item is Bill number 2021-69, an ordinance amending Chapter 40, Utilities, Article 3, Sewer Division 5, Pre-treatment of the Mexico City Code. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. In order to meet the Missouri Department of Natural Resources criteria, we had to redo our industrial pre-treatment permits and code. And to cover the details, Kenzie Wilson.
Periodically, there are changes in our wastewater permit and/or in the industries in town that require a review or a revision to our pretreatment local limits and ordinance. In this case, this was precipitated by moving from the interim permit to the permanent permit and by the closure of Teva. So really 2 triggers there for this. It is a part of being part of our permit. It's something the DNR has to review, and they have done that review. It goes on public notice with DNR and with the city for 30 days, which was completed in October 18th. The changes that are done actually make our ordinance a bit less restrictive than it was before. So it benefits our industries, and we moved from daily average limits to monthly average limits, which is less restrictive in that they can take a test. If it is outside of the limits, they can take additional tests and average them together, where before, if it was outside the daily limit, that was it. It also increases the oil and grease limits slightly from 100 to 175, which is in line with the DNR's limits as well, and that will help our industries some as well. We've had a couple of notices of violations for that particular element. So we believe that overall this is a positive thing for us, even though it's taken a lot of work and a lot of effort to get there. We would recommend the council move ahead and approve the amended pretreatment ordinance for the city code.
I move. Oh, are you going?
Just check and see if there are questions.
I have a question. I was reading all of this stuff, Exhibit A, and this is all the amended, and it's amended according to what you're talking about as far as TEVA and the treat and testing and things like that, right?
Right.
Okay. And did you write all of this, or was this kind of the state?
Kim Cole, Hoskins Cole, Kim HEC consultant that's been working with us over the past year on pretreatment, actually put most of it together. We did have multiple reviews and discussions back and forth as well.
Good. Maybe this is more. This is probably I'm the only one interested in this. But what was the change about TEVA that made this easier for us?
They closed.
I know, but what was it about the pollution they were doing?
We have, if you would visualize the load that our treatment plant can treat as a pie, we divvy that up with so much to the domestic flow and so much to each industry. So when you have a closed, that changed the load at the plant, that changed the pie, and DNR requires us to reallocate. Now, we did keep some as, I can't remember the term, but essentially some as reserve, so that if we have an industry expand or a new industry come in, that we can allocate a piece of that pie to the new industry or to an expansion without having to go through all of this. With the closure of Rise Baking, we will be required to do a review, but we won't have to go through as intensive a process as we did this time.
Okay, thank you.
How much water did TEVA use, or, I mean?
Their permit allowed them to use 100,000 gallons per day in terms of the flow. I don't remember the details of each element of biological oxygen demand and so forth.
So 100,000 gallons is what part of the whole pie? Just
Right.
what part of it would it be? Third, fourth, eighth?
Well, our average flow at the plant is about 2 million gallons a day, and roughly
Be a 20th.
65 to 70% of that's domestic, and so the rest is what's out there.
65 to 70, did you say?
Yeah.
So who actually checks this? Are they self-regulating, or does DNR go out there? Do we go out there? Who?
Yeah, yes and yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They are required to pull samples and send the test results to us from a certified laboratory. We then review those results against what they're permitted to do. If we see a problem, then we can go forward a test. Or if we have some sort of pass-through plant or problem, we can go and test any time to try to trace down that problem. So basically on a quarterly basis, for the most part, a couple of them have some monthly requirements. They do have to pull the test and send the results to us. We do an annual inspection each year as well.
Other questions?
I move for first reading of bill number 2021-69.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bill number 2021-69, an ordinance amending Chapter 40 Utilities, Article Roman numeral 3, Sewers, Division 5, pretreatment of the Mexico City Code. I move for second reading.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bill number 2021-69, an ordinance amending Chapter 40 Utilities, Article Roman numeral 3, Sewers, Division 5, pretreatment of the Mexico City Code. I move for passage.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes. Okay, next item under resolutions will be Bill 2021-70, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Mexico Senior Nutrition Center to assist in providing services for senior citizens. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, this is our annual agreement with the Mexico Senior Center for the Nutrition Program in providing those services. And to cover the details of our agreement, Roger Haynes.
Good evening, Council. The 21-22 budget allows the City of Mexico to contribute $14,000 to the Mexico Senior Nutrition Center to assist in the offset of operational costs related to providing programs, activities, and nutritional lunch and services. The city has provided $14,000 annually in assistance to the Mexico Nutrition Center since 2017 and provided prior assistance in the amount of $10,000 annually dating back to 2000. Staff recommends the City of Mexico and the Mexico Senior Nutrition Center enter into an agreement and the council proceed with reading by title only and passage of the attached resolution. The administrator of the Mexico Senior Nutrition Center, Anna Biffle, is here this evening. She has provided the council with a narrative of last year's activities. We would like an opportunity to go up to the podium and address the council.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to thank each and every one of you for what you do for the Mexico Senior Center. Without your help, I'm afraid we would be kind of a mess. But thanks to you all, our budget goes pretty good. So every one of you, I invite all of you all to come down and have a look at the Senior Center. I know you've been there before. So consider yourself welcome, all, and thank you so much. I mean, with the board members, it's not just me thanking you. Denny Berger, he's on our council.
Thank you.
The whole board, so thank you all.
Thank you.
I move for reading of bill number 2021-70.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bill number 2021-70, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Mexico Senior Nutrition Center to assist in providing services for senior citizens. I move for passage of bill number 2021-70.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes. Next item is Bill number 2021-71, a resolution creating a housing incentive program to encourage construction of new single-family affordable workforce housing in the city of Mexico, Missouri. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. I think council is very aware that we have struggled as a community and having single-family affordable workforce housing, and a number of groups within the community have been working on trying to look at how to address this issue, and short-term, long-term issues, and so on, how we can achieve this goal to get more individual housing built. One of the opportunities that came by for us was obviously the American Rescue Act and providing some funding. And as a part of the discussions with the county is what we come up with this program to help in this effort. So to cover the details of the program and what we're looking at, Russell Lunch.
Council? The city staff, as Bruce mentioned to the council, a survey to rank community needs projects for use of the American Rescue Act funding. staff met with the Ordinance County Commission, as Bruce mentioned, in October of this year and established a housing incentive program. This grant is designed to provide $500,000 in American Rescue Act funding to fund the housing incentive program, otherwise known as HIP. The City of Mexico and County of Authorizing will each commit $250,000 of these funds. The Housing Incentive Program is a grant that is intended to encourage the construction of new single-family affordable workforce housing. The HIP would provide funding to housing developers by incentivizing private housing developments to encourage the creation of new market-based housing blocks, which will in turn retain citizens, attract workforce, and thereby increase business and employment opportunities. The HIP is designed to assist in financing housing lots for eligible housing developments to expand the supply of decent, safe, and sanitary households within the city. The program is designed to assist housing developers with the installation of public utility improvements, water, sanitary sewer, and stormwater into new and developing housing subdivisions. Through the process of developing single-family housing subdivisions, the developer may not have adequate funds for the installation and construction of public utilities and other upfront development costs. Program guidelines and requirements are as follows. The housing subdivision must be located within the city limits of Mexico. Subdivision must be for new owner-occupied single-family affordable workforce housing and then 8 new buildable housing lots. HIP is a reimbursable grant program, therefore requiring the developer to fund all upfront costs of the public utilities, which includes the water, sanitary, sewer, and stormwater systems. The amount of assistance is up to $10,000 of the cost of the installation, whichever is less, per lot developed within a housing subdivision. Houses to be built in subdivision must have a minimum of 600 square feet. That's based on our code. A living space and generally less than 2,000 square feet. Developers must be pre-approved for HIP funding and have all plans approved by the city and county. HIP funding approval will be based on available funds and meeting program objectives. HIP assistance is for the installation of public utilities. Therefore, all improvements must be built to city standards, approved, inspected, and accepted by the city for public use before reimbursement is made. The city and county will disperse committed HIP funds to the developer after all public utilities have been installed and a certificate of acceptance by the city has been approved. The developer must complete all public improvements and obtain a certificate of acceptance within 1 year of being pre-approved for program funding, but not later than December 31, 2024. Grants will be awarded on a first-come, first-served basis, and when all HIP funds have been committed, the program will conclude. Deviation from approved project design may disqualify the project from HIP funding. The city and county will review all requests for HIP funding and reserves the right to deny any request for funding that does not meet program objectives. All applicants will be notified in writing as to acceptance to HIP. Staff recommends council proceed with reading the title and passage of the tax resolution creating a housing incentive program in the city of Mexico, Missouri.
Questions?
Go ahead. First of all, I guess my question is for Lou, because for years, me and Ron Lesh tried to do something with this. And we were told over and over and over that the city cannot put money into residential. It would be illegal for us to do
These
incentives.
funds were passed down to us separately. And
Right.
And vetted through the Mark Twain Regional Planning Commission, who oversees the funds and what is legal, what we can use them for, and what we can't. And they okay.
We are the administrator of these federal funds. We are not putting in any local tax dollars. So that's why.
That's the difference?
That's the difference.
Okay.
Same thing where the county made a loan to the hospital for nursing staff shortage, respiratory therapists. Again, that was a pass-through federal funds under the respiratory. So what we really are doing is an administrative program, not putting any of our own sales tax, property tax, residence tax. So that's why there is an exception.
Okay, because that's what I was always told for years. We were like, we can't do it, can't do it.
There's a provision in the Missouri Constitution that prohibits giving funds to a private corporation that applies to state.
So we have the rules now for for this money?
Yeah.
They've been written now officially? Okay.
Russell, I may be missing this someplace, but is this apply to any level of kind of, I mean, as far as, is it real high-end housing? Or low?
Workforce.
Doesn't that make any difference? Does it?
Workforce.
Workforce. Well, how do you define workforce?
We've really tried to limit it by size to a great extent.
Okay.
But as we all know, finishings within sometimes can change a price considerably. So that's why we've tried to limit it to really the size of the property and the size of the lots, and that way it doesn't apply to high-end is our point.
Okay, that's what I meant. Okay.
The new subdivision being done by the Oaks obviously would qualify.
Then you what?
The new subdivision by the Oaks
Okay, that doesn't...
wouldn't qualify.
Okay, that was kind of my question.
So is there would, kind of to what you're saying, is there like a group, would you guys make that decision beforehand of whether it would be workforce housing?
Right.
Rather
They have to
than-
apply in advance,
Okay.
and then we give them written notice that yes, you're in or you're out. So, yeah, based on the guidelines.
Well, the guidelines, but I mean, you would also look at you could have a 1,900 square foot house with a 3-car garage. It's not included, and I don't know if that would really be workforce
Right.
housing.
I don't know if we can go in and judge a certain person's property per se.
We're trying
What you're
to,
trying to do is get someone to put in a subdivision.
we're trying to get the lots on the ground.
Because you're just want to pipe utilities to them
Right.
for free, or a grant.
Right.
So you want someone to lay down 40 lots, and we pipe utilities to them.
Right.
To basically take that cost off of them.
Right.
Now, are roads going to be part of that?
It cannot be because of the funding does not allow it to be spent on that. Now, they'll have to put that in. That's just not what's eligible for reimbursement.
So do we have any thoughts of what's a minimum subdivision we want to see? Or, I mean, what's...
That's why we've set a minimum of 8 lots.
Okay.
So it's
Because if
basically
somebody just splits one lot into 2, you really don't have these costs.
So it's mainly just for piping, utility.
Water.
Yeah. Water, sewer.
But it is true, there's a big demand for housing here. People
Oh, yeah.
need housing, so.
I'm glad we're doing something.
It is a limited timeframe within, we have to use these funds in a certain timeframe.
I get it.
And that's set by the Rescue Act.
Right.
We have to have them committed by then, or you can't do it.
Charles' pleasure.
Make a motion to read bill number 2021-71.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Bill number 2021-71, a resolution creating a housing incentive program to encourage construction of new single-family affordable workforce housing in the state of Mexico, Missouri. I move for passage of bill number 2021-71.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes. Next item is Bill 2021-72, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with various organizations for requested funding from the Mexico tourism tax. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, the Tourism Commission has met and reviewed applications for funding, and they have made a recommendation. To cover those recommendations, Roger Haynes.
The Mexico Tourism Commission did meet via Zoom on Wednesday, October 20th. And as part of that meeting, they reviewed 3 applications for advertising funding. The first is the Columbia Missourian, and that would be for a winter and holiday tourism guide that will publish on November 18th. And that would be approximately 10,000 copies circulated through surrounding cities. The cost of that is $375. That initially started at a 1.5-page ad, but there's a possibility that we'll get the full page for that $375. Tourism recommends $375 for the total. Progressive Performing Arts is looking at a winter production of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That will take place December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, December 10th, 11th, and 12th. Requested advertising in the amount of $3,500. The amount recommended by the commission is $3,000. $3,500 was approved for activities 2 years ago to Progressive Performing Arts. That was for 2 separate plays, one in the fall and one in the winter. So that is why the commission did go ahead and recommend $3,000. Yes, it was one event here, and they thought they would extend down some of the fund balance that wasn't used during our The third request is from the Maxwell Area Chamber of Commerce. This is for advertising and holiday activities, and this will be for events running from November 6th to December 23rd. And so far, they have approximately 16 events to advertise. The amount requested is $50, and the amount recommended is $50. Everybody has that answer any questions? Staff does recommend that the council concur with the Municipal Commission's recommendation and proceed with reading by title only and passage of the request resolution.
I move for reading bill number 2021-72.
Second.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Bill number 2021-72, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreements with various organizations for requested funding from the Mexico tourism tax. I move for passage of bill number 2021-72.
Second.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes. Next item on the agenda under staff reports is health insurance proposal. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, sure. As we stated during the budgeting process, that we would be taking proposals and bids for the city's group health insurance plans for the upcoming calendar year. We have done that, and Roger Haynes to cover the details of what we have received.
Administrative Services staff has reviewed, along with the city manager, submitted group health insurance plans for the upcoming calendar year. Requests for group health plan proposals were sent to 4 insurance agencies, posted on the city's website, and advertised in the municipal ledger. Based on health premium trends for small groups, the current budget included a contingency for a 10% increase in plan rate. All plans noted below are within the budget for the fiscal year 2022. The city received fully insured proposals from 2 agencies, First State Insurance Agency and Gallagher Insurance Group, which submitted 3 providers, with one being from our current provider, United Healthcare, and others from Anthem and Aetna. Each health insurance provider submitted several plan options, for which the city staff narrowed down to 3, keeping in mind acceptable pricing, area physician and hospital facility networks, plan deductibles, prescription tiers, co-pays, and client account servicing. 3 qualifying quotes given consideration are as follows. The first provider, United Healthcare, provided their current plan that we have with an adjustment rate of 10%. The employee rate would be $666.42. The employee spouse, employee children, and employee family rates are also disclosed before you. United Healthcare also provided a second option with a more restrictive or more costly prescription plan. The employee monthly on that was $657.07. And again, the employee spouse, employee children, employee family rates are provided. Anthem Blue Access, PPO HSA, provided a rate for us, again, with a slightly higher prescription drug plan and additional tiers. The employee monthly rate was $659.28. And once again, the employee staff, employee children, and employee family rates are shown. The above information only addresses various plan premiums, and additional summary pages have been attached to this report to provide more detail on each plan considered, depicting not only premiums but also plan key features. In summary, the first plan, a UHC plan identified as BDBJ HSA, is a renewal of the current plan provided by the city to its employees, with the only change being their premium change at a level of 10%, which falls within the 2022 budget expectations. The city has utilized this plan package since 2019 and has been very pleased with the plan overall. This plan provides a very good local healthcare network and proves one of the better nationwide healthcare networks. This plan does provide city employees with the best prescription plan of the three plans being considered. The second plan, also provided by the UHC, is identified as BVBJ HSA RX C26, is similar to the city's current plan, with the exception of having a 4-tier prescription plan, with more of the prescription costs being passed on to the employee, noting price increases in tiers 2 and 3, plus an additional 4th tier at $250 copay. Now, since the time that I prepared this note, I did get some additional information on this plan, and as an additional note, there will be situations where current scripts covered under the current plan will fall into the higher tier 4. Additionally, we found that some of the prescriptions that are covered under the current plan will not be covered at all under this plan. The third plan listed, Anthem Plan, identified as Blue Access PPO HSA 6CLM, is also backed by a nationwide network and has a mix of pluses and minuses on deductibles, with the pluses being in the in-network out-of-pocket cost and minuses on the out-of-network cost. The prescription plan is a 4-tier plan, which overall is more expensive than the city's current plan, especially the potential cost share on the 4th tier at a 25% copay. This plan was not medically underwritten, which in looking forward is a concern based on staff's past experience. Typically, when we write the quotes for these plans, they will want individual applications filled out by each employee and family member, so they have a good medical history of the individual, and they will price it. In past years, where we've received someone giving us a quote, typically a lower quote, so say, here's our quote, but based on us doing individual underwriting. Each time we have done that, the rates have blown up. So that's our concern, and that concern is something that has revealed itself on a couple of past occasions. Based on the relatively small difference in pricing compared to the renewal price of the current United Healthcare plan versus renewal risk, additional prescription plan copays, and potential changes in network conditions, a move to this plan is not recommended. Based on a comprehensive review of each plan's overall pricing, coverage, area, physician, health facility network, staff would recommend renewing the current United Healthcare plan, BVBJ HSA, for a period of 1 year beginning January 1, 2022, with an option to renew for 2 additional 1-year terms, subject to acceptance by the city of Municipal. Staff further recommends that Gallagher Insurance Group be named as the agency of record, because they are the agency that provides the rate to the UHC. Does that answer any question?
So all 3 of these are health savings accounts, right?
Yes.
Have we ever put together an option, for instance, at the school, we get like 3 options. We have an HSA, but then I can upgrade mine to a PPO. I mean, if you have children, an HSA, unless you've saved a lot of money, I mean, you're going to get hammered. Have we ever done where here's the HSA plan, here's a PPO plan, but you have to pay an additional $40 a month to be on this plan? Because I do that and I save tons of money over the year that I wouldn't save in the HSA. And I'm not saying health insurance is just going through the roof, but I didn't know if there was ever a thing where there were different plans that we could option out to people and they could pay for, because I'm sure each person's different within the city. Each employee is different in where they stand on family and things like that.
Sure. We do look at, there are probably close to 40 plans that were presented. And the city, to buy down that out-of-pocket cost versus a fully insured plan, not a high deductible plan, does provide $1,600 as an HSA contribution on employee only, and $3,200 for a family. Again, that was set up and done to offset the potential cost of the rates being much higher on a fully insured, non-high deductible.
Oh, and Steve, we did look at that. And part of our concern is that you may have a few that do buy up, like we said. Our concern with that was if you only have that few buy up, it may not make a whole lot of difference this year, but with that changes the group dynamics enough that what we were concerned about, what we discussed with the agents, let's say you only have 4 or 5 that buy up, by the time the next year that rate comes around, it'd be so astronomical because there wouldn't be enough there that it wouldn't be affordable for them. So it's about spreading that cost is what we were concerned about.
Well, and what hurts us is because our group's not that big.
Right.
Is there, have they ever thought about doing a city consortium where it's like, let's get some cities together, make our pie bigger so we can drive down these costs?
We've talked about that as well, and that's been kind of limiting to do that as well.
Okay.
You will see that more in the St. Louis and Tennessee metro area where they can get 10 or 12 similarly sized governmental units pulled together, and it's a numbers game.
Yep.
But with us here, we have to go reach out so far to grab these that try to get networks to work together.
Yeah. Have the employees been happy with what we had?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
For the most part, yes, but there are always issues with everyone, and that's why we also look at the account services that we get to have somebody help us work through those too.
Okay.
And so that's been some of the issues that we've had as well, that we want to make sure that our agent is there to help that person through those difficulties because, as you know, one major health issue like that could be bankruptcy for a family.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that's a very good point that Bruce makes up about the servicing. Some plans would only allow me or my staff to talk to the insurance company, but some will allow us to get our agents involved. And where we've had opportunities to get our agents involved, we've been able to really push through and get an answer much more quickly.
I move for the purchasing of the healthcare plan from United Healthcare, BVBJ HSA through Gallagher Insurance Group.
Second.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Williams? Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Next item is payment of the claims.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Briggs?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Next item are comments, and we'll start with the council, and we'll start with Mr. Haig.
Just some questions. The Mexico Super app that we had through the chamber, is that thing up and going?
Almost. Dana's reviewing it tonight. We're going to make sure that we have what we feel is the adequate number of businesses that we've got, and then we'll start the campaign of reaching out to announce it and get others involved in it. And then it'll be to where it's self-efficient, that each business can go in and make their own changes to it or load up their own information if they don't like what's already preloaded.
Nothing real big. I would like to the council, I'd like to propose a work session on probably 2 things. I'd like to see us look at a paperless, start looking at paperless agendas. However we might do that. I talked to Bruce a little bit about it, and I'd like to see us maybe move forward towards that. And also with the people that have come forward, I think it's time we do another work session on the UTVs on the roads and just have another discussion because we're getting a lot more, I'm getting a lot more comments out in the in the city, and a lot more questions about it. I know we have people coming to the council meetings and saying stuff about it, and I think it's time that we probably have another discussion to see where we are on our thoughts on that.
Your all's pleasure. Do you have an objection to having a work session? He's asked for a work session.
I think we should acknowledge the fact that we all have an option to use paperless. Some of us can't see the stuff on lines easily. I can speak for
And
myself.
do we not have that option?
We do have that option. You just tell Marcy you don't want yours to come.
I mean, we do have it available, and we can go fully that way. I think what we'd also need to look at, though, is that if we move in that direction, and I don't want to have the big discussion without the work sessions, but we'd have to look at doing potentially like a tablet or something like that for each of you in order to be able to load, so you wouldn't be having to bring your own in and out. So
Yeah, that's what the school
that
board
would be
does,
part of the
right?
discussion we'd have to have.
Well, you
Tablets.
have to make sure that any executive session stuff stays on your tablet, can't go into your private board.
But it's doable. I mean, we do it now to a great extent. We have it out there now electronically, so it's very doable.
But nothing else from me.
Mr. Williams?
Mayor, I hate to interrupt, but with that, I think we need to have at least acknowledgement that everyone's agreeable to go ahead and do that work session. Or at least the majority.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Shivers?
Not really.
Okay. You got 3-1, 1 abstain, so I guess it's a go.
Okay. And the only reason I ask that is because before we've had, especially with the low-speed vehicles, it's been, no, we aren't doing it. So we haven't spent any time on it. So unless that changes to discuss it, then we can bring it back. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's on the work session. Mr. Williams?
We still have a board member from the senior center here. Before she left, I just wanted to say I haven't seen you guys, and I see you guys out, but I've never told you. I really appreciate the fact that, when COVID was really happening, you guys still made sure that the seniors got food, and I don't know if you guys got enough appreciation for that, because it was, people don't realize there's a lot of seniors in our community that I don't know that they would eat a lot if it wasn't for you guys. So,
More to come.
yeah.
You know,
So just wanted to share, and if you share that with her as well, because it was a big deal.
on that too.
And then paperless is fine, and as far as the UTV, I've had a lot of people come forward with it, and my position's not changed at all. I'm fine with it if we do it all. I'm not willy-nilly. I'm not golf carting, not UTV. That's how I felt to begin with, that's how I feel now. So I'm not against it, but I'm not going to pick and choose, so either.
Mrs. Briggs?
That's it.
Oh,
Nope, that's it.
I thought you said that was it. Mrs. Briggs?
Well, I was reading through the chamber list of things going on in town, and I was thinking a year ago, nothing was going on. Now we got a whole list of things going on. It's getting excited. We got a new restaurant starting up in town. I wish them well. And so anyway, it's good to see things happening again.
Dr. Shivers?
It's good to be back, even though I wish I was still in Jamaica. You know how I feel about the senior center, so I appreciate all that you do. I'm going to be honest, and I'll say it at the work session. I know we said, the UTVs or the low-speed vehicles. I'm going to be adamant about this until either Chris Miller isn't on council. I think anytime that we pass something that deals with golf carts, and we have a member who will benefit greatly from that, I don't think that's in the best interest of the city. And that's where, and besides the fact that there's plenty of things out there that show, one, that they are dangerous, that our streets aren't wide enough in several places to do it. We've heard from our police force and our police chief saying how we're already understaffed and what it will do to them. And sometimes I think we have to just do what's best, regardless of, some people enjoy it for themselves, but we have to always look at the broader community and what it means for everyone. So that's my 2 cents.
Mr. Slagle?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Well, in response to Dr. Shivers, you'll find out about a year ago, I sold out completely, 100%. I carry no mortgage. I have no involvement in that other than my family own it. But I make no benefit. I draw no salary. I draw no commission. I draw no retirement. I draw nothing from it, and they don't owe me a dime. So I'm really not as involved as I was before. Other than that, I just want to remind people that Rudolph is coming up at Presser Hall.
And you're
Yeah,
Cupid.
And I'm Cupid.
I can't wait
I'm
to see this one.
some kind of a reindeer. I'm not sure what that means, but
My husband is Comet.
yeah, Comet Cupid. So
Who's Donner and Blitzen?
I don't know. We have to learn some choreography, so I don't know that dancing and singing and reindeer is going to be tough for me. But some people just never say no. That's a problem.
I can't wait to see it, though. It's going to be great.
At this time, we'll take public comments. If you'd like to make a public comment, come to the podium, state your name and address, and try to hold your remarks to 3 minutes.
Hi, good evening. I'm Rose Barnes, 1120 East Lafayette Street. I did come 2 weeks ago, presented some paperwork for you guys to look over and review. Golf carts can be dangerous, but they also can be safe. My cart has passed the Missouri State Safety Inspection through Miller Tire. It went through the complete safety check just as a vehicle does. We're not asking if we can drive our vehicles down the main parts of the road to, hinder traffic in any way, just on the residential areas around our neighborhoods. I would like for you guys to please review it again and give it a little bit more consideration. I think that it would be a good thing for Mexico to have a lot of the communities around us do it, and they do also collect money from it, which also helps the community. I'm just asking for consideration. If you please review it again, I'd appreciate it. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else at this time? Seeing no one else, move we
I've got the radio on.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.